Und dann haben wir jetzt die Kippen. Dann gehen wir hier zurück in das Schloss. Überreichen natürlich, guck mal, die sind so ja zerknautscht, frisch und zerknautscht, dem Albert hier die
Hey,
Klippen.
look what I have for you.
Are they for me?
Na
Of course,
klar.
I'm a fervent supporter of workers' rights.
Heavenly days. Thanks a lot.
Was so ein richtiger Suchtraucher ist, ne?
Albert! Now I'm really sick and tired of you.
Everything fine, dude? Wait, I'll give you a hand.
You think I don't understand that all this has something to do with you?
If I'm not mistaken, I just helped you. I thought...
That would end up being friends? Wait, I'll call Albert too, so we can sit in a circle and sing Kumbaya.
All right, never mind. I have to admit, Lake was smart, but not enough to stop me, since I had strategically pulled off his spare key. Albert claimed that it was rarely used, so I doubted I would be caught. Perfect. Once I found the security code too, I could enter the closed-off section.
So, den Sicherheitscode, den kriegen wir durch den Typen. Da müssen wir... Müssen eigentlich... Nee, warte mal, war schon richtig, glaube ich hier, ne?
Mr. Bundy, how can I help you?
Beringler wouldn't have appreciated it. I needed sufficient distraction to give me time to snoop through the pages for just a few seconds. Beringler occasionally sipped from a glass containing an undefinable amber liquid. I could have taken advantage of the repulsion Beringler felt for the licorice, but not that way. I mean, an entire stick stuffed into your drink cannot go unnoticed.
Okay, ich musste erstmal kleiner machen, aber wie?
Maybe.
Wie
Or
mache ich,
maybe not.
wie mache ich das kleiner? Haben wir irgendwie ein Messer oder so?
No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't see a good reason to do that.
Also das würde mich noch interessieren, wie wir das hinkriegen. Wir brauchen irgendwas.
Come back whenever you like.
Wir brauchen irgendwas. Schmelzen am Feuer. Ich guck mal. Feuer ist hier.
No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't see a...
Nee. Nee. Wir haben aber auch nichts da, ne? Wir hatten die Säure. Warte mal, vielleicht mit der Säure?
Was it really worth it?
Tja, ist eine gute Frage. Hier haben wir auch nichts. Warte mal, nee, Moment. Wir haben ja hier noch...
The library was closed.
Okay, Bibliothek ist zu.
I didn't understand how that could possibly help me.
Hätte ja funktionieren können, weißt du, so als Reibe oder so. Ist hier irgendwas? Moment. Süßholzraspel.
What's wrong with you? I should put you in the slammer right now.
You're burning my retinas.
Sorry, I got lost in the role of the bad cop a bit too much. Anyway, this time I'll make an exception.
Okay, jetzt fällt's nicht mehr auf. Jetzt haben wir Pulver. Jetzt haben wir Pulver und gehen hoch. Dann kriegt er Hustenanfall.
Mr. Bundy.
Mr. Bundy.
Beringler was staring at me. Beringler occasionally sipped from a...
Ja, ich versuche ihn ja, vielleicht im Gespräch.
Can you give me some information about Castle Sancti Leonis?
As the defensive stronghold of the De Vilta family, the structure has always been in the middle of fierce clashes between the local aristocratic families.
Does the Marquis have any relatives?
No, unfortunately, his bloodline runs out with him. Unless he procreates in the coming years. I can't categorically exclude that possibility.
Did you really have to say that? I'll have a picture of that in my mind for days. The scenery is really breathtaking.
Isn't it? Admire the wonder.
Oh, guckt weg.
I leaf through the pages, which reveal themselves to be nothing more than a sort of personal record of Beringler. Inside it, as I hoped, was the code I was looking for. 8154.
8154.
You have to excuse me now.
Come back whenever you like.
So I recovered the key for the castle and the security code for the closed-off section. I'd wait till the evening before sneaking in. I had 2 pieces of the scroll in my pocket, and the third was waiting for me inside Castle Sancti Leonis. All I had to do was wait for night and sneak in.
Später in der Nacht.
I was just a step away from the last piece of the scroll.
Tür zu.
Up. I was finally in the private area, just steps away from the last piece of scroll. Eerie. They had installed some artificial lights, but they came and went continuously. I hope they lasted. I didn't want to find myself in the dark all alone.
Dann speichern wir mal schnell. Da wird bestimmt das Licht ausfallen.
An ancient battered cannon, surely out of commission. That opening reached the surface, letting a feeble natural light seep through. A soft artificial light came from the hatch. Luckily, because otherwise I'd have to grope blindly to move. The brush for the cannon was long and sturdy. If it was telescopic, I would have put it in my pocket. The brush for the...
Ja.
The door had been unhinged from that walled access at the bottom of the room. The access was walled over a very long time ago, at least judging by its appearance. I couldn't explain why, but in the vicinity of that wall I could sense something.
Wind? Warte mal.
The access was walled over a very...
Ja. Hier ist Wind. Schal.
My scarf was moving, as if blown by an air draft. Judging by the direction in which it was waving, the gust of wind seemed to emanate from the walled access. But how was that possible? I touched the wall, searching for the origin of the draft. And here's the mystery explained. A part of the wall had only been roughly constructed. The passage continued downward, disappearing into total darkness. How much deeper did that place go?
Isn't it fascinating?
Oh, good. It's been a while since someone pointed a gun at me.
I must have underestimated you, Bundy. Radwed warned me to watch out for you. Evidently he has more faith in your abilities than I did. Yeah, faith. I want to offer you a confession. I never had much. All that talk of roses and crosses bores me.
What's this rose you all keep talking about?
Useless pseudo-religious fetishes. They're nothing more than fanatics busy killing each other in the name of oaths as ancient as the world. I'm only interested in power, and you got in the way once too often.
It's not the first time I've heard that. And it won't be the last either.
Aren't you curious to know what happened in here?
I see you're anxious to tell me, so why not?
We've been keeping an eye on San Leo for a long time, but we never managed to get to the bottom of its mysteries. Then DeVilta discovered this section almost by chance. Radwed immediately sensed what it was about, and was able to sneak me in by manipulating the marquee like a puppet. The piece of scroll was right there in that gallery behind you. An ancient conduit used as an escape route, now forgotten and buried under tons of debris.
The ideal place to hide a treasure map.
A part, at least. But you already know that, right? You found the remaining pieces for us, just like Radwood expected.
Unfortunately for you, I didn't bring them with me.
Now it's you who's underestimating us. If they're not here with you, then we already know where to find what we need. The bartender is harmless, while the Polish woman could be a problem. But I'll take care of that later.
Oh. Okay, es war jetzt Aktionszeit.
A narrow and tortuous path was preventing Beringler from sprinting fast enough to increase his distance from me. But soon, we'd reach a wider road. I had to hurry. Although I was pedaling to the best of my ability, I couldn't reach the car. Then, the epiphany. The new propulsion system I had installed after the chase with Radwed in Miami. By pedaling fast enough, it would be activated, giving me a nice boost forward.
Komm.
I wish that old hag Gwendolyn Pratt was there to film that moment of glory.
Nein, nicht Green Dot.
I wouldn't be able to break the windshield.
Okay, das kriegen wir aber hin, wahrscheinlich. Na toll. Ah, die Säure. Quatsch, die Säure.
The
Nee.
Wrangler looked scared.
Ja,
That kind of acid had no effect on glass. Plus, at that speed, I'd have risked having it end up in my...
in my... Ich klick mich jetzt hier durch. Oh. Autsch. Am nächsten Morgen.
Guys, it was one of the most spectacular falls of my life. I'm lucky I didn't break anything. The bush was providential.
Are you sure that Beringler...
I made sure of his condition, and I even made an anonymous call for an ambulance. Luckily, he wasn't running very fast, given the kind of road we were on.
You're a pair of pussies. If it didn't happen that way, I'd have broken a few of his bones personally.
Have you recovered all the scroll pieces? You even attached them. Is that the lost seal of Cagliostro the doctor was talking about?
I don't think so. Maybe this scroll is what we need to find the seal.
I hate snakes.
We have to inspect it from top to bottom.
What's that writing on the right?
Polish poetry. What are we, the book club?
There must be a reason it's here. Tech, read and translate.
Thanks to the silent indications of the Count.
How can indications be silent? And how could the Count give them indications if he was dead?
He was dead, but he left something behind. The scroll.
So the soldiers used the seal of Cagliostro as directions? Makes sense.
Spying from the highest sky. Peepers.
Be serious.
The soldiers observed something or someone then.
Okay.
A snake that bites an apple pierced by a golden arrow.
You're starting to get into it, Tech?
No. It's just that I mistrust snakes. Animals as sneaky and dangerous as they are fascinating.
Huh. Maybe it's the power of suggestion, but it seems to resemble the symbol of the dollar.
You're right. How curious.
Mitunter, ja, das stimmt.
The arrow pierces the snake from side to side.
It could indicate a direction, no?
I think so. Well, let's keep it in mind. The snake that bites the apple could be a reference to Genesis.
I wonder how people can believe that a woman was created from the rib of a man. You two combined don't even have half my backbone.
Oh.
The story of Adam and Eve is a metaphor to teach mankind to be patient and not defy the divine laws without reason.
What do you know about that stuff?
I took a basic theology course as an elective. And to think I chose it only to get 6 easy credits.
So the apple would symbolize a beginning, but a beginning of what?
Spying from...
The soldiers...
Okay, das hatten wir.
We left the flame-covered safe haven.
Oh, this is strange.
Gute Nacht, Katha.
How can a haven be safe but simultaneously covered in flames?
I can't think of anything.
Under the threat of the roar of bricks. The roar. The beast.
Let's hope not. You searched for that animal for months without finding any trace.
You're overlooking the most interesting detail. Why a roar of bricks? Good. We must have analyzed everything.
I think so too. But what should we do with these clues?
In my opinion, they are encrypted geographical references. A sort of scavenger hunt.
So we just need to examine a map and...
No, wait. I doubt the Polish soldiers had a satellite map of the area. At best, an unreliable chart. And then there's that opening line. Spying from the highest sky. I think I get what it means. The Polish soldiers found an elevated place. A place from which it was possible to study the landscape.
Highest sky, an elevated place.
Look at them talking about conspiracies and investigations. They almost look like grown-ups.
All right, we need a high place. A place that the Polish soldiers might have used at the time. And I think I know the right one. The Civic Tower of San Leo.
High is high, and it dates back well before the arrival of the Count in San Leo. The problem is we can't enter. Only rarely is it open to the public. Unless...
I was thinking the exact same thing.
What are you looking at, you bump on a log?
Was passiert jetzt? Ah, wie sind die da reingekommen? Mit den roten Blättern an der Seite.
Well, we have a complete overview of all the points of interest in our surroundings.
We're admiring the same sights the soldiers who recovered Cagliostro cast their eyes on. Isn't it fascinating?
Very. But now, let's focus. We must find the 3 references we came here for. The roar of bricks, the snake, and the flame-covered safe haven. That road has a peculiar shape. Olive, maybe I'm deluding myself. Look at that road and tell me if it reminds you of anything.
Hell, you're right! It's the snake!
But the clue couldn't possibly refer to the whole road. Let's check it out more carefully. Look at that circle of trees in relation to the head of the snake.
It looks... deliberate. Of course. It corresponds with the apple on the seal of Cagliostro.
So, if that's the apple, we can draw the arrow that pierces the snake. We're doing well, but we still need other references.
Right. For now, we just have a generic direction. We can't fully inspect anything.
Under the threat of the roar of bricks. I'm not surprised by the roar. We're still in San Leo, the city of St. Leo.
Da oben ist...
That's Castle Sancti Leonis, historic residence of the De Vilta family. The roar could refer to St. Leo.
I know what you're thinking here. Castle Sancti Leonis. The Castle of St. Leo.
It would make sense to describe it as a threat, considering that the Polish knights were chased away by the De Vilta family. Okay, we have a reference point, but we need another if we want to find a direction. We left the flame-covered safe haven, a place that could be considered safe, but at the same time in flames. This is a real puzzle. That mountain over there, can you tell me anything about it?
Mount Gregorio. A very popular place among hikers.
Hiking? Get thee behind me. No more climbing for today. What's that?
Oh, yes, the Fount of St. Leo. They say it's from the Roman era, and that it was originally used to carry water to the mill in the northern district.
I don't see any mill.
Indeed, it's gone. Oh, I almost forgot. In front of the fount is a statue of St. Leo in copper foil.
The Palazzo Mediceo, if I have correctly interpreted the brochure Gaia gave me. I don't think it has anything to do with our research. The panorama is remarkable from up here, right?
Breathtaking. And to think that all these years I was never able to climb the bell tower.
Bell tower?
Yes, a few locals call it that.
Square Dante Alighieri, the writer of the Decameron.
It was a joke, right?
Well, I must say I'm not especially knowledgeable about literature.
Alighieri is famous for the comedy, you ignoramus.
You mean the Divine Comedy?
Wrong. It was Boccaccio who added the divine to the original title.
See how everything comes back?
You're hopeless.
I noticed that arch coming into town.
It's Porta Sopra, famous for its inscription with the passage from Purgatory in which Dante quoted San Leo. One climbs San Leo and descends in Noli, and then I don't remember anymore. I never understood how people managed to recite the Commedia from memory. The one close to the fortress is Cagliostro's well.
Where does the name come from?
They laid down the Count's body there while they were carrying it to the burial ground. Even today, people leave flowers there from time to time.
Okay.
Fortress of San Leo, which stands imposing in the valley below. I wonder if that cross...
That's the cemetery, Lazaro. I doubt we'll find any clues there.
You'd be amazed where certain secrets are kept hidden. What's that building?
That's the parish of St. Severino.
St. Severino? Who was he?
If I recall correctly, he was an abbot famous for having evangelized a territory that corresponds with present-day Austria.
Austria? I can't find any connection.
Tja.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't see a connection. We already ruled out Mount Gregorio. The panorama is remarkable. The panorama...
Tja.
What can you tell me about that lake?
Nothing much. It's an artificial modern lake.
I definitely rule it out then. I don't think so. The civic...
And that...
They have nothing in common. It's simply... Dante Alighieri is known for... What if flame-covered haven is a reference to that?
It seems somewhat forced. I can't see how a central square could be a haven.
Ach so.
I don't see... What can you tell me about that?
The Sant Igne convent. Well, it's old. It's Franciscan. What else?
I don't know. Does the name have any particular meaning?
Now that you mention it, yes. I once read that the name was originally Sant Enya, and only later renamed Sant Igne, the Latin word for fire, because of an alleged luminous apparition that appeared in the 16th century. Sant Igne can in fact be translated as sacred fire.
Okay.
So the name of the convent is Sacred Fire. Well, that's it. It must be one of the clues to the symbol. And now we found 2 reference points.
If we link them, we might get a direction.
That's it. That's the spot where the 2 reference points meet.
We really did it, Lazaro. We found it.
Don't get your hopes up yet, though. We could have made a mistake.
There's only one way to find out.
Und sie ist schon da?
I wonder how many times I've flown over this area without knowing.
Come on, Lars. You're always last.
I'd like to see you climb with all this junk in your pockets. And, by the way, Olive?
Have you seen anything useful?
Actually, I wanted to tell you that Tekla gave me the orchid back, if you want it.
Still on that? We could be on the verge of bringing a treasure of priceless value to light, and you're thinking about a flower?
You know, I was just like you when I was younger. I wanted to be a big detective, conquer the world, leave a mark. But lately I've come to realize that you can also be happy settling for the little things, while there's still time.
I don't want to settle. I want to become someone. You guys, look here instead.
These carvings go deep inside the cortex. They must be very ancient.
Don't you understand what they represent?
We found the apple. In that moment, I realized I'd already seen that symbol. It was the mark the doctor traced at the Mulzberg residence, at the beginning of everything, the Genesis. This means that down here...
Right under our feet?
There's an old moldy mummy that can't wait to stretch its legs.
Just how you like it, Tech. Maybe we should have brought your father.
How many times do I have to say this? My father is not a...
Guys, which two of you is starving? I can hear the rumbling of your stomach from here.
That's not our stomach, idiots. On the ground. I'll take care of it.
Don't shoot, Tekla. You can make it even madder, putting Olive in serious danger. The oak was huge, and Olive was leaning against it, trapped. Olive, can you run towards Tekla? He was still confused and suffering from the blow.
Interesting reaction.
Have you got any ideas for getting out of this situation?
I'm afraid normal hunting techniques won't work with this monster. We need to observe its behavior, study it for a while, and find its weak spots.
I noticed that it never takes its eyes off of me.
It must be attracted to bright colors. Maybe it's your scarf that draws its attention.
My scarf, huh? I'll keep that in mind. Tech, shoot a tranquilizer.
It could be dangerous. Are you sure?
Maybe it's best to think more carefully before trying. I'll try to figure something out. The oak was huge. If it wasn't for that rock, I would have been found out in the open, a victim of that growling monster.
Oh.
Nothing to do. Waving around in the beast's face did nothing but make it even angrier. Tekla, I have an idea. As soon as the beast is distracted, runs towards Olive and get him to shelter.
Whenever you're ready, cretin.
Olive was finally safe. One step at a time, and we might make it.
Curious.
What are you talking about?
Why doesn't the beast charge you? It was distracted by Oliviero before. But now?
I guess its aim isn't so much to hurt us as to protect something.
A guard animal. The behavior matches. It doesn't want to be led away from the area it has to protect, but it attacks as soon as someone steps on it.
This leads us to two conclusions. The first is that we're in the right spot, and what we're looking for is right at the foot of the oak. Well, the second is very worrying. We have to get rid of that beast if we want to dig.
Okay, aber ich bin ganz böse, Aber ein bisschen Cliffhanger brauchen wir ja. Das werden wir beim nächsten Mal machen. Denn es ist Schlafenszeit. Ich bin immer noch nicht so richtig im neuen Rhythmus drin. Der Rhythmus ist da, aber irgendwie klappt das noch nicht ganz. Aber nun gut, das soll es für heute Abend gewesen sein. Es wird spannend. Es sieht doch so aus, als ob hier nichts weiter passiert. Das heißt, wir werden uns hier an der Stelle beim nächsten Mal weiter auseinandersetzen. Vielen Dank fürs Zusehen. Was es morgen Abend gibt, ist wieder eine Überraschung, weiß ich nicht. Ne? Wir lassen uns da einfach überraschen. Und in dem Sinne, schlaft gut, träumt was Schönes. Vielen Dank, dass ihr dabei wart und bis morgen Abend. Euer Firefox.